I mean, as far as the Christian leaders, a lot of times what happens is a lot of times they'll start out with good intentions.
Totally.
But then when they get to that position of power, it attracts the demons, because for demons, they because they're cut off from God, they no longer have grace. They don't even know the economy of grace, and by that I mean in the sense they don't even know what helps that God is going to give to different people to get their lives together. And that they have no access to any of that knowledge. They don't have any of that. They don't have. They hate each other. They can't stand each other. So they don't even have the common.
They hate each other.
Yeah, they completely hate each other, and so
they do.
Yeah, and so as a result of that, they can't. They have the only reason they get along is because they have a common end, which is to take us down. So the only thing that's left with the demons is because they were created in a hierarchy, so how intelligent they are, they have a will that's proportionately intelligent, is strong to that intelligence, and different demons have different degrees of intelligence. And so basically what that means is that their will, one demon's will is stronger than another. So in hell, there's only one thing that's left, and that's raw power. And so what happens but that power is melded with malice and self-servitude and that type of thing. And so what happens is that when you see people that go into positions of power, that attracts the demons, because they know, if I can get control of this guy, then I can then I can basically use his power that he has to cause all this other damage or to take other people down. That means there's so as I mentioned, a lot of the Christian leaders, they go with the right intentions. But when you're talking about politics or in the civil affairs where power is involved, sometimes people go in it with the right intentions, but then they get corrupted afterwards because the demons start. When you get that high profile, the demons are going to be really spending a lot of time and energy trying to take you down. But the other side of it is that, and we've seen this even in the Catholic Church, they'll get the wrong types of people into positions of authority. They know this particular person has this defect. They'll give the person the inspiration. You should go into politics. You should rule. You should be the governor. And so then they'll incline the person to go into that governorship, knowing that because of this person's psychological compatibility with them, with the demons, that they can manipulate this person to cause all sorts of damage. There's two things that I think you find interesting. I actually did a series on how communism and diabolic psychology are identical. Yeah. When you strip the veneer away of it, one being political and the other one being from the spirit world, we peel that veneer away, the patterns of thinking are exactly the same. But we see it even happening in our own country in the sense that the demons always present a temptation as this pie-in-the-sky great thing that you're going to get, and you're going to get all this pleasure and joy, and everything's going to turn out right. But they'll present it as, this is a great thing. You're going to get this pleasure. You're going to get this. You're going to get power. You're going to get. But then once they get, and so then you give into the temptation, and then from there they take you down. It's the exact same thing in communism. It's a pie in the sky thing. We're going to have nirvana because nobody's going to have to. There's not going to be any private property. You're never going to have to worry. The government's going to provide everything. Everything's going to be peaceful and joyful. And it's because of capitalism that there's all these wars. They sell you a bill of goods, they get you to sign off on it, and then from there they take you down. And that's exactly what the communists do. This is one of the reasons why one of the patterns in relationship to politicians in this country that are clearly communist. I said, you can just watch the pattern. They'll start out idealistic. But I always tell people, give them a couple years and you're going to see the malice.